The BMW Hong Kong Derby is the most coveted prize in Hong Kong racing. This is the race that all the local owners want to win. Probably comes quite high on the list for most jockeys and trainers as well. Why? Well, the lion's share of $24 million isn't a bad place to start, but it's more than that. It's the prestige, it's the honour, it's the glory, it's the trophy as well. It's your chance, your one and only chance to be regarded as the best of your generation, and also to sit alongside some of the best horses ever to have graced the turf here at Sha Tin. Our BMW Hong Kong Derby special. I'm Andrew Lejeune. Great to have your company. Of course, throughout the course of today's show, I'll be looking to find you the winner of the feature race on Sunday. We'll be dissecting the barrier draw and talking tactics from the 2,000-metre start with Ed Sadler and Tom Biddington. We'll pause as well and reflect on some of the great memories of this race with the one and only Tony Cruz, who's won this race both as a trainer and, of course, as a jockey as well. We'll hear from some of the leading connections heading into Sunday's race, and we'll finish off with a classic race, and that is a Keedmer feed under Douglas White. His last win as a jockey. He's double-handed going to the weekend now as a trainer. That was back in 2013. So plenty to pack in. We'll start off, though, of course, with the full lists of the runners and riders for the BMW Hong Kong Derby on the weekend, and the all-important barrier draw as well. Sky Darcy, the highest-rated horse in the race, he's come up with barrier 2 for Casper Founds and Joe Moreira. Excellent Proposal has drawn well, seemingly as well in barrier 8, the Classic Mile winner. Healthy Happy made all to win the Classic Cup. He's drawn 3. Shadow here, I'm sure they're happy with 7. Tourbillon Diamond 11. Lucky Express Russian Emperor's drawn well from 5. Congratulations, also from the Douglas White stable. He draws barrier 14. Silver Express with speed from barrier 1. Delightful Lau and Cronqueror wide. Maximus, and then Packing Wolfen for Tony Cruz and Neil Callan. He draws barrier 6, an eye-catching run in the Classic Cup last time out. We're going to start off, though, the show with Blake Shinn. Now, last year, Golden 60 was all the rage and truly won the BMW Hong Kong Derby, but Blake Shinn really made him work for it on an outsider in Playa del Puente. Little expectation going to the race for Blake. This year, it's a little bit different as he rides one of the more fancied runners. Excellent Proposal for trainer John Size.
It is Excellent Proposal right in the middle of the track in front of Lucky Patch, Lucky Express and Tourbillon Diamond. Excellent Proposal in front in the Classic Mile for Blake Shinn and wins.
Yeah, it was a big thrill. It was a big thrill. You know, I've been working hard for something like that to happen, and you know, I wasn't sure it was going to happen. He'd prepped up nicely. Mr. Sides gave him a trial into that. I wasn't sure what to make of the trial, but I knew the horse had the ability to win it. It was just a matter of him turning up on the day, and he did. He had to sustain a run from about the 650 when it developed into a sprint home, which not many horses can do that. But he loomed to win the race, and that last 75 he was just found wanting a touch. But I feel he was arguably one of the best runs in the race, if not the best run in the race. If they go slow, he's a push button ride. He'll just put his head on his chest and relax and idle along, and he's got a great sprint. A lot of these horses don't have the sprint that Excellent Proposal possesses, and I think that's his lethal weapon. I knew he wasn't a 300 to 1 shot. That's in my mind. So I just went out there approaching the race like I do any other race, and yeah, we nearly pulled off one of the biggest upsets in history.
200 to go. Playa del Puente leads. Golden 60's a length away. He's the only danger. Playa del Puente still a length. Golden 60. He's running out of time. He's coming now. Golden 60 drives. He's won it.
You know, I did come to Hong Kong with a big reputation from Australia, obviously winning a lot of big races, and I haven't lived up to that just yet, but I'm still hopeful I can. And it is a test for myself, but it's a great learning curve. Yeah, it's a hard slog, but I'm loving it, and we're hanging in there at the moment, and I still feel we've got a lot to offer in Hong Kong.
Blake, of course, is no stranger to big race success, but it would be a surprise if the blood wasn't pumping a little bit by the time he's here in the parade ring at Sha Tin at about 4:30 on Sunday, with race time about 10 minutes after that. The draw, ever important. The start important as well, from the 2,000 metre start out in front of the grandstand to take us through the barrier draw, the tactics as well. We'll head out onto the course and catch up with Tom Biddington and Ed Sadler to tell us more.
Thanks, Andrew. Terrific to be here at the Derby starting point. 2,000 metres the distance. Not much of a run to the first turn, so barrier draws are vital, especially in an even year like this. I'm joined by Tom Biddington from the South China Morning Post. Tom, from the barrier draw, who were the winners and losers?
Russian Emperor was definitely the big winner today. He's drawn barrier 5, should get a lovely run, settle 5th or 6th, and be able to dictate where he's at. Sky Darcy was another big winner, barrier 2. He's going to get the suck run, which is probably what he needs, given there's a question mark over his ability to run out the 2,000 metres. And then I think Shadow Hero, an excellent proposal there in 7 and 8 respectively. They should be able to go back and get nice runs with the pace coming underneath them. They should just be able to slot across and enjoy a nice run.
And whose Derby hopes have been harmed by the draw?
There's one standout, and that's Tourbillon Diamond. Barrier 11 is going to be really tough for him. He's probably going to sit, just off the pace, and that's a nasty spot to be in from barrier 11, pushing forward, potentially being stuck 3 wide, no cover. I spoke to Danny Shinn before. He's going to have to really assess the race and work out what to do from there.
So not much of a run to the first turn. Jockey's going to be anxious to get a position early. How did the early stages unfold? Where's that pace from the inside going to come from? What are the horses we're looking out for there?
Yeah, the pace profile comes from 3 horses: Silver Express in barrier 1, Healthy Happy in 3, and Maximus in 4. So they're the likely horses who'll set the tempo and dictate the race, and then we'll see what happens after that.
So they look like they'll be the tempo setters, but what sort of tempo are they setting? Because we know these can be end-to-end derbies, or we've seen stop-start derbies over the 2,000 metres here too.
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. We don't really know how that's going to play out, whether one tries to really push forward, and something like Maximus, who could roll on at an even tempo, or if you get someone like a Silver Express who's maybe not guaranteed to sit out the trip, he might try and get a bit of a break in between. So we're just going to have to wait and see on the day.
So this is the 2,000 metre starting point, but it's also in the last 100 metres of where the Derby will be taking place. Just give us 3, 4, 5 horses who you think will be here at the business end of the Derby.
Yeah, so the big winners from the barrier drawers are the ones I sort of see in the finish, and that's Russian Emperor, that's Shadow Hero, that's Excellent Proposal, and potentially Sky Darcy if he can see out the trip. They're the ones who are going to be hitting the line well. Okay,
we'll just hold fire with your Derby pick because we want to get that later on in the show. We'll hold you in a bit of suspense, and we'll come back, Andrew, with our Derby picks later on.
Thanks to Ed and Tom then, as the first pieces of the puzzle start to fall into place. We'll see if we can find some more now as we catch up with some of the leading connections heading into the weekend.
Zach, the Derby's coming up on Sunday. You've won it before on Luga. Can Shadow Hero give you another Derby win?
Well, I hope so. It's a fairly even race. I think the barriers have probably played into the favoured runners' hands a little bit. But I still think there's half a dozen winning chances in it.
Are you happy with barrier 7 for your horse?
I think it's okay. I would have liked to have drawn inside a couple of those horses that have drawn inside me, but every time we get to the 2,000 metre start, you just need that little bit of luck going into the first corner, and hopefully we can get that and just find ourselves in a nice spot.
He put his best run to date here in Hong Kong in the Classic Cup. Is he coming into the Derby in the right sort of form?
He's probably coming into the Derby in his best form. Whether that's going to be good enough to win it, obviously we'll find out. We'll see how the track is racing on the day, but he had every favour last time. He had a beautiful run, and obviously there was a lot of runners that went over the line together. Like I said, there's nothing between a number of horses here.
Casper Sky Darcy, barrier number 2 for him. He must be pleased with that result.
Yes, Ed, very pleased with that draw. He needed a soft gate, and we're very happy with the draw. It's going to give him his chance. So, yeah, extremely happy.
He's formed this 4-year-old Classic Series. I wasn't sure what to make of his run in the Classic Mile, and then he was obviously unlucky in the Classic Cup. How do you read his form lines?
No, you're spot on. I think he's, he started off with a great start of the season, winning 3 races, and then sort of, I think he was a bit unlucky in the group race in the 1400, and then in the classic mile, he ran all right, just a little bit flat. The run after that was good, was pleasing to the eye, because 1800, you know, he definitely didn't have a clear run at them and only got beat 2.25 lengths. So we've persevered with him to give him his chance to run the trip. He's had a great preparation for this race. He's as fit as I can get one. You know, he looks a treat, lovely soft draw. And now it's a case of seeing how the race is run, and you know, he won't be bustled from the gate. He'll get his chance to land where he will be, which is probably just behind the speed. He seems to be a nice, relaxed horse, and now it's a case to see if he can run out that extra furlong and give us a big surprise.
I'm very grateful to the owners. They've been patient enough, and I said then the Derby wasn't 2 months ago. The Derby's on the 21st of March, so it's taken me work in progress to get him there, but he's responding well, and it was there for everyone to see the way he ran last time and the trial that he put up 10 days ago.
Let's elaborate on work in progress. I looked at his win at Royal Ascot. To me, he looked like a dour, grinding, European staying type of horse. How have you got the speed into his legs to be as competitive as what he was in a Classic Cup last time out?
I think Hong Kong in itself generates speed into the horses, just the way that we train and the way the tracks are, the work on the tracks, the way the racing patterns. That's why we give these horses trials, and that's why you put them in these races to lead them up to this, so that they can get used to the pace, the tempos, the pressures of Hong Kong. And fortunately enough, he's a smart enough horse to have accepted all of that, and he's transformed.
And congratulations. Has this come up too soon, or can he surprise a few?
I think he'll surprise. It has come up slightly soon. He's only had the one run in. I thought it was a run with a lot of purpose. I think he's come on tremendously from that run. He's probably the dark horse that's going to run a big race in this race. He's pleased me with everything he's done. I've got as much mileage as I possibly can into him, and his form abroad suggests that he deserves his chance to line up.
Plenty more still to come on the show. We've got more sets of connections to catch up with part two. Tony Cruz with his Hong Kong Derby memories as well. And of course, we'll try and find you the winner as well. Plenty more to come on our BMW Hong Kong Derby special.